Now from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Saturday morning.
We are following two breaking news stories right now. First, in West Charlotte, State Highway Patrol is investigating this deadly crash. It happened around 4 this morning on I-45 Inner near West Boulevard. These are live pictures from the scene. You can see all of those emergency crews on scene. They've been there for quite some time now. Highway Patrol tells us 2 people were killed. We're asking what caused the crash. We'll bring you updates on air and online at WSOCTV.com. And in South Charlotte, CMPD says 2 pedestrians were hit along Montford Drive. It happened a little after 2 this morning near Park Road. We're told they suffered minor injuries but are expected to be okay. CMPD says 1 person has been detained. Now, another big story we're following this morning, the weather. Let's check in now with meteorologist Vicki Graff in Severe Weather Center 9. Vicki, you've been tracking some rain this morning.
And the rain is all part of this massive system. You can see it extends all the way through the Midwest, Northeast, back down across the Southeast. We still have a long way to go before this rain winds down and even before the rain really arrives. Heading out the door this morning, I'm tracking just a couple of showers, mainly west of I-77. A lot of this rain we're seeing across Catawba, Lincoln, even Cleveland County. It isn't reaching the ground, but you can't rule out a shower or 2 throughout the day. We will be stuck under cloudy skies, and even with clouds, it's going to be warmer today in the mid-50s. The best chance for showers early on will be north and west of Charlotte. I'd say even north of the I-85 corridor. And then later this afternoon, more scattered showers move through. We're looking at steadier rain overnight tonight into tomorrow. So if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, get them done today. We'll keep the clouds around today, maybe a few breaks of sunshine early on at best. And then the rain chances ramp up, I'd say, after 5 o'clock with temperatures in the mid-50s. I'm tracking a bigger cool down on the way behind this system. I'll show you when that arrives coming up. Elsa?
Today, the Peach Stand in Fort Mill will remain closed, so employees can attend funeral services for 19-year-old Carson Whitesell. She was shot and killed while working inside the store Tuesday afternoon. Reporter Stephanie Tinoco attended Carson's church last night as her friends and family gathered to celebrate her life.
She had those big blue eyes that would always light up a classroom.
She was always smiling. She could always find a way to make people laugh and smile.
Hundreds gathered to honor 19-year-old Carson Whitesell at her church in Rock Hill, sharing memories about her infectious laugh and the joy she brought into their lives, celebrating her life the way she would have wanted.
We know she's in a better place. We know that she is not feeling pain and that she is with God, and so we need to celebrate that and rejoice in that.
All of the tables here in the sanctuary and out there have brown paper on them with the markers that are for people to write down memories or qualities of Carson, and then our members take those and make a scrapbook out of them for the family.
All the flowers that family, friends, and even strangers were asked to bring to the Peach Stand last night are now being displayed here at our church in Carson's honor.
While the reality of Carson's death doesn't get any easier, it's brought people together for her legacy to live on.
It was a tragedy, terrible tragedy, and my heart broke.
Our lives are now united because of what's happened to Carson and all that she meant to people.
Stephanie Tinoco, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Carson Whitesell's funeral will be at 11 this morning at a Lumine Church in Rock Hill. The man charged in Whitesell's murder, Christopher Mendez, worked at Goodwill and lived in Lancaster. Neighbors at the Palmetto Place apartments where Mendez lived with his mother told us they were shocked when they heard of his arrest.
Been thinking about him and the family of the girl. Been thinking about him for the past couple of days, like what made him do it.
There are still so many questions about a motive in this case. Officers say there's no evidence it was a robbery or domestic violence. Whitesell's parents have put together a GoFundMe page to raise money to build more shelters for children in Africa and carry on their daughter's mission. We've posted a link to that fund so you can help inside this story on WSOCTV.com. Breaking news this morning, 40 people have been killed and another 140 injured in a suicide car bombing in Afghanistan. The Taliban has claimed credit for the blast in the capital of Kabul. The Afghan government says the attacker used an ambulance to get through a security checkpoint before detonating the explosives. We will keep monitoring this breaking situation this morning and bring you any updates. Police say a teacher's quick thinking helped them catch a man who exposed himself to an 8-year-old near a South Charlotte school. Feliciano Ramirez was arrested and charged yesterday with indecent exposure and indecent liberties. Police say he exposed himself and committed a sex act in front of the student during recess Tuesday at the Park Road Montessori School. Officers say a teacher was able to provide vehicle information, which led them to Ramirez. A high-speed chase down I-77. The suspect's car cornered before it slammed into 2 troopers. And inside, troopers say they found 9 stolen guns and 2 bulletproof vests. This all unfolded around 6:30 yesterday morning near the 68-mile marker in Chester County. Speeds reached more than 90 miles an hour. After using a rolling roadblock to stop the vehicle, troopers arrested Morgan Fowler, Elantre Glenn, and Santario Washington. All 3 are from Charlotte. More fallout this morning in the USA Gymnastics sex abuse case. The entire USA Gymnastics board has now resigned. The U.S. Olympic Committee demanded the members either step down by the end of the month or be fired. Earlier this week, a judge sentenced former USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar to 40 to 175 years in prison for abusing more than 150 young gymnasts. Today, the new board overseeing North Carolina's largest Medicaid program will work to get the organization back on track. Action 9 has reported on Charlotte-based Cardinal Innovations for months. The State Department of Health and Human Services took over and kicked out the old board 2 months ago. That came after the agency reportedly spent millions on lavish parties and huge severance packages. A massive search is still underway this morning for a 4-year-old North Carolina boy missing for 3 days now. Even the FBI is now involved in the search for little Raul Gonzalez Johnson. He disappeared Wednesday from Laurinburg, North Carolina, while his grandfather was supposed to be watching him. The large-scale search effort is unfolding about 2 hours east of Charlotte. Investigators say they don't know if the boy was abducted or wandered off and is lost. Police have already searched a pond near his home and plan to do a grid pattern search through the woods. The Charlotte division of the FBI is on scene investigating.
We've deployed assets from all over North Carolina and from the FBI headquarters to include our Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team.
The FBI released this missing persons poster late yesterday. It's asking anyone with home security cameras in Scotland County to search their video from Wednesday for clues. Firefighters from Charlotte and Mooresville are helping with the search efforts.
The folks that we send all are fathers and have children themselves, so naturally it adds to the urgency of the situation.
Officials say the large search effort will continue through at least Sunday. Over in Washington, a new firestorm is brewing over the Russian investigation. The New York Times reports President Trump ordered the firing of special counsel Robert Mueller just 1 month after Mueller was appointed to the job. Before leaving Davos yesterday, the president pushed back, calling the report fake news. Arlette Saenz is in Washington with the latest.
Back at the White House, President Trump touted his trip to Davos.
I think it was a very, very successful trip.
But he ignored questions about that new bombshell in the Russia investigation.
Mr. President, have you thought of firing Robert Mueller?
The New York Times reports last June, the president asked White House counsel Don McGahn to fire special counsel Robert Mueller. The president reportedly told associates he thought Mueller had conflicts of interest. According to the Times, the president relented after McGahn threatened to quit, arguing such a move would have a catastrophic effect on Mr. Trump's presidency. Before leaving Davos, the president pushed back.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
What's your message?
Typical New York Times fake stories.
The president's White House lawyer for the Russia probe declined to comment out of respect for the office of the special counsel and its process. The president has previously said ousting Mueller isn't on the table.
Mr. President, have you thought about or considered leading the dismissal of the special counsel? Or is there anything that Bob Mueller could do that you would send you in that direction?
I haven't given it any thought.
But Democrats are sounding off.
If this president decides to move against that special counsel, it could erode the rule of law in this country in a way that would be a devastating blow.
Back in August, lawmakers introduced legislation to limit a president's power to remove a special counsel. Senator Cory Booker and other Democrats are renewing calls for Congress to consider those bills. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Two lawmakers want answers concerning Bank of America's decision to drop a popular e-checking account. In a letter to the company, U.S. Representatives Jimmy Gomez and Elijah Cummings said they want documents and information relating to its decision, including the number of individuals enrolled in these accounts. The company says it will be happy to explain the changes. Customers were moved to accounts with fees that can only be waived with a minimum daily balance of $1,500 or a $250 deposit every month. Mecklenburg County leaders discussed a possible tax increase to fund universal pre-K at their annual budget retreat. The county manager estimates a fully funded universal pre-K will require a property tax increase of 6 cents, around an extra $10 a month per household. County commissioners say this is needed to improve the area's economic mobility status.
Whether we birth them or not, we pay for them.
A funding source hasn't been identified yet. Commissioners could also explore a sales tax increase or bond referendum. Several road projects going on in Uptown this weekend. Traffic Team 9's Mark Taylor has your alternate routes.
We got multiple projects that will be closing parts of Uptown roadways, including a project going on at Lanier Park. Starts 7 o'clock this morning, lasting until noon, so through the afternoon. And that's going to close 3rd Street between Church and Tryon. So you're going to have to use Stonewall from Church Street as the alternate. Now down the road, we've got some crane work that's going to be happening at the Epicenter. That starts at 7. That's going to last through Sunday evening, though. Closing trade eastbound between College and Brevard. So you're going to have to use 5th Street as an alternate. Then on up the road, parts of Cedar will close between Trade and 4th Street. That's for work that's going on in Johnson and Wales. Again, 7 a.m. lasting till late afternoon until 4 p.m. using Cedar over to 4th Street, over towards Graham Street is the alternate route around that closure.
Time now 7:11. A really pretty shot of the sun coming up this morning through our Lake Norman cam, although you can see those clouds out there. Meteorologist Vicki Graff has an update on your forecast from Severe Weather Center 9.
And the clouds are actually keeping a blanket across Charlotte right now, and that's why it is warmer this morning. In fact, we just updated to 46 degrees in the city, 34 in Albemarle, 38 in Salisbury, and 40 in Jefferson. There still are some cooler spots. Grab a jacket, but you don't need that heavy winter coat. You'll really notice a difference compared to this time yesterday. We're about 15 to 20 degrees warmer. We will see the clouds sticking around throughout the day, and even with them, we'll manage to make it into the mid-50s. I'm tracking some showers today, a better chance for rain tomorrow, and behind this system, a big plunge in temperatures. I'll show you how cold it will get coming up.
Flu cases on the rise. At 7:45, the key essentials found missing from your child's school that could put their health at risk. Personal information stolen by scammers after a breach at the Charlotte Housing Authority.
This is one of the biggest cyber threats occurring across the globe right now.
At 7:30, the single email sent to an employee impacting hundreds. And a coyote spotted just feet away from homes in one East Charlotte neighborhood. Next, the reason animal control says it can't remove the coyote.